In today's video, I want to show you how to use the gas laws. So here are 4 different gas laws that you can be presented. This one is Boyle's law. We have Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law, and then the combined gas law, which is just a combination of the previous 3. Now, just a couple things to note before we actually solve out the problems. When you're doing these, you want to make sure your units are the same for the specific variables like pressure. So if this is in atmospheres, this also needs to be in atmospheres. If they aren't, we have to do a conversion before we can do the problem. Now, the other thing to note is with temperature. So temperature has to be in Kelvin. It cannot be in degrees Celsius. So we have to convert our temperatures to Kelvin before we plug in and do the problem. So using these 4 equations, we're going to do the next couple problems, and I'm going to go through in a very particular way to show you how to pick which equation for what situation, and then how to do the math afterwards. Okay, so here's our first problem. So I like starting these by defining our variables. So let's read the problem. A sample of neon gas occupies a volume of 752 milliliters at 25 degrees Celsius. What volume will the gas occupy? So it's looking for volume at 50 degrees if pressure remains constant. So when I go to define my variables, and you notice I use 2 different colors to kind of signify the 2 different situations. It says a gas occupies a volume, so that's V1 equals 752 milliliters at a temperature, so T1 equals 25 degrees Celsius. What volume will the gas occupy? So I'm looking for a second volume, so I'm going to make that a question mark. At 50 degrees Celsius, so temperature 2 is 50 degrees Celsius. So I was given 2 volumes and 2 temperatures, so that means I'm going to use the equation V1 over T1 equals V2 over T2. Based on what's given in the problem, will tell you what equation you want to pick from the previous page. So now I want to make sure my units are okay. So volume is in milliliters. My second volume, when I do the math, will come out in milliliters. My temperatures are in Celsius, which is not okay, so I have to convert to Kelvin. So to do that, I have to add 273, and that first one will become 298 Kelvin. And the second one would become 323 Kelvin after I add 273. So now let's plug the numbers into the equation. So V1 was 752 milliliters over T1, which is 298 Kelvin, equals V2, which is what we're looking for, so I'm just going to leave it as V2, and then T2 will be 323 Kelvin. So now I'm just going to solve that. I like to cross multiply. You can do the algebra however you want. And I get an answer of 815 milliliters. I rounded to 3 sig figs because when I'm looking at the numbers at the end, I'm looking at 752, so that has 3, 298, which has 3, and 323, which has 3. So my smallest amount was 3, so that's why I rounded to 3. So let's try one more problem. So this one's a little different, but it's the same process. So let's define our variables first. So a helium-filled balloon has a volume of 50 milliliters at 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atmosphere. What volume, so I'm looking for a volume, will it have at 0.855 atmospheres and 10 degrees Celsius? So when I define my variables, I was given a volume of 50.0 milliliters, a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, and a pressure of 1.00 atmospheres. What volume, so I'm looking for a second volume, V2, will it have at a pressure of 0.855 atmospheres, 5, and a temperature of 10.0 degrees Celsius. So this one gave me 2 volumes, 2 temperatures, and 2 pressures. So that means I'm going to be using the equation P1V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. Now let's make sure my units are okay. Volume's in milliliters, so that means my second volume is going to come out in milliliters. Temperature, I need to change to Kelvin, so 25 plus 273 is 298 Kelvin. Pressures are both in atmospheres, so that's good. And then my last temperature I also need to convert, so that would be 273 plus 10, so 283 Kelvin. Okay, so I like to do the math with this one a little bit differently. So let me change the color of my pen. So I want to isolate my variable, and I'm solving for V2, so I want to solve for V2. So I need to get rid of everything that's on that right-hand side besides V2. So to get rid of T2, I have to multiply both sides by T2 so that it cancels. So that'll end up in the numerator on my left-hand side. And I need to divide both sides by P2 to cancel it off on that right side. So now my new equation is right there. So let's clean that up. T2 times P1 V1 all over P2 T1 equals V2. So now I just need to plug my numbers in and solve. So T2 is 283.0 Kelvin. P1 is 1.00 atmospheres. V1 is 50.0 milliliters, and that's all over P2, which is 0.855 atmospheres, and T1, which is 298 Kelvin. All of that will equal V2. So you notice that atmospheres cancel, Kelvins cancel, so I'm left in milliliters, so that's a good sign. So now let's plug that in the calculator. And I get 55.5, but I want to make sure my sig figs are correctly, so I'm looking at 50. So that has 3, that has 3, that has 3, that has 3, and that has 4. So the smallest amount was 3. So that means my answer for V2 equals 55.5 milliliters. So when you encounter a problem like this, it's the same process. So the first thing you want to do is define your variables, and that should line up with one of the equations. Then I want to check all my units to make sure that they agree and that they're in the correct unit. And then I'll plug my numbers into my equation and solve to get the answer.